or partly. And no, I would rather say it's not a matter if we were the artists or not. The setup was an artistic one. And maybe the discussion is another one. You always had this fight about free art and applied art. You're only doing design, or you have a real content or something like that. And so in many cases also doing group work was more, okay, it's something social, let's say in the 80s or in the 70s, and it's being applied. So I think on the level of research we're doing a very free level there. And one level of the art piece which I thought was very important, now which goes a little bit against this community idea which is on the internet now, was that we were interested in horizontal and also in vertical hierarchies of the ages and also of the professions to mix. And this is what you basically don't have. So the commercial aspects of the networks today is to slice up in interest groups of 15-year-old headbangers, 30 years old lesbians, these kind of sliced up interest group, which is commercially also, the whole social networks is based on the advertising, checking out who can get which advertising so that they fit. And I was later on doing in the 2000, end of the 90s, I was doing reality TV show in Latvia, where we tried the same thing like in Piazza Virtuale, to do a reality TV show not with a 19-year-old blondie and a 21-year-old boy, but to have a granny and to have professions mixed. And this is what I mean with vertical mixture of professions and things, and I think that was part of the art piece too. And naturally in Latvia people were very interested on the educational level in this kind of experience, but when it came back to commercial interest, a year later it came back to the blondie 19-year-old, I don't know, teenager slice big brother. And
good looking
too, and this is the point where we say we didn't really change something. Nothing really changed in society. Also by what we did, we tried to establish different situations on a free or on a research level, or to create a more difficult thing. And I mean, Benjamin is even on the level and saying TV is the biggest crap you can find.
Scourge of society.
It is basically. I have a bit more hope on the level saying that. TV could be something like the new education or school TV, in guiding people through the net or through different things. That you need a new edutainment, a new kind of platform. That's where TV could work out as an educational or a guiding thing, where people are basically lost on the net and don't know where to go.
Excuse me, I want to point at one other interesting thing is our own role in that piece of art, if you want to say that. I mean, I know that we had constant discussions on whether we should talk or not talk, or yeah. Like I was my personal position in that discussions was that my interest was to set up a technical thing which by itself creates something. I don't want to. I don't want to be seen on screen. I don't want to direct something. I don't want to download something. Others with probably a more artistic background, whatever, found or it was important to them to interfere with the program, to put it in a certain direction, to give input to what's happening there. And I think that was a quite interesting discussion, because it points to the role of the artist, or at least originator of the piece of art being installed there.
I mean, it's an interesting approach though, isn't it? Because you're facilitators as much as artists, and like what you're saying about, you're providing the medium, but you're not determining the content, I guess. So when you put the platform out there, I mean, it has potentials for education, but also it always has potentials for Big Brother, I guess, as well, So it's almost like, I mean, is there a sense, I guess, that anytime you create a kind of a new medium or a new kind of a service of distribution or dissemination of kind of material, that there's a kind of process of commercialization that would necessarily come into it?
just to start a little bit, rewind to a certain point which Mike said. I mean, it is clear if you are using media per se, and media I don't mean computers or video cams, I mean media which are broadcasting, and really broadcasting in that sense, also not out of a box, but live broadcasting, and that was the significant difference to other. It was live broadcasting. That is, all that package is a political statement, and it's not. We have never been political in a political movement, even not in a punk or fashion movement, or in a hippie movement or so. At least not I can't. So it is a political statement, of course, already. To say I'm citizen of that world and I have the right to broadcast. Yeah. Just simple as that. Yeah. Whatever I broadcast is a secondary question then. Yeah. So, and what that decision was common among us, we set the right and we set the request and we played the right out, and we said that should be possible, and we write that fact till to the maximum as it was. Yeah. So this is one thing, and that is just the political statement of Piazza Virtuale, which is still the strongest ever have been sent to a society. From that moment till today, there was not a stronger political statement from no one. Yeah. Maybe from some configured politicians which have an agenda like Obama or whatever, but this is a different task.
Could I do a slight correction in this direction? But I would even focus more deep on this post-production in life. We are influenced, or let's say the kids are influenced in the last 20, 30 years by a post-production product which is called Hollywood, which creates emotions and cultures in the whole world, but which is post-production and which is working with the perfectionism of body, seeing, skills.
Let's put it simple, it's a virtual world.
A virtual world with magics and everything. Everybody's able to do magic, everything. But this means that every kid gets a complex of minority, of being, I have pickles, I don't look good, I'm not able to do it. So if something really live happens, in the difference to 20, 30 years ago, for my generation, where we were saying, this film is shit, they're not doing the real thing. People today turn it around when something real happens. Oh, this reminds me of that and that film. So in this sense, the fact of being imperfect first in Piazza Virtuale was a shock for the perfectionist, thinking of the people how something should look if it's good and perfect and slick, good rock art, posing, positioning, etc. And we were this kind of crappy trash, unperfect people saying hello, how do you do, where are you from, you don't speak well, etc. It brought back this identity creation. It's not the virtual identity which Hollywood or other people show you. Your real identity is more simple. Don't believe this cultural industry which is telling you that this is the best thing to do. And this is, I think, the first thing losing traditions like family, religion, etc. And having through the 68 or the 70s this identity finding of my own personality, my own, I don't know, ethnics, or all these things which is kind of the individual finding of identity creation as an individual, not only being part of a block you don't want to be, is coming back now to the collective creation of groups, which you see these interest groups on the internet, so that the ritual, the collective ritual, is coming back with new forms. And this medium was and is, and that was also our intention on the artistic way, not get away, but now let's develop this individual expression to some collective ritual, how we can work together. And that's where we started, Karel and me, very early when we were 19 and 20, and our interest was much bigger to work together as a group than to make individualistic careers which we could have made anytime.